everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the Black White Liberal. And we just wanted to create a space to talk about things that are going on today, through this election, beyond this election. It's just conversations that I feel like need to be had and that I don't always see represented, and I want to be able to have that. And this is a space where you can talk, can make mistakes, you can admit how difficult things are, and we're moving through the process. And through here, you may get, more understanding, more tolerance, or more militant. I don't know. Really, it's probably, we're all a part of, this society. They're tolerant, understanding, militant, revolutionaries. We're all here. This is a place where we can all come and talk about what's going on, and it's my point of view, it's my channel, and, I think that you can be here and enjoy the ride, and that we can have a good time together, and we can learn together if we want to, or we can argue together if you want to, because I can do that too. So, just want to give a brief introduction to the channel. I'm going to sit on here for a few minutes because I want to talk about, obviously, the recent, the latest disparity between how things happen and escalate and de-escalate, and that is what happened in Kenosha with James Blake, and then what happened in Kenosha with Kyle Rittenhouse. And the thing is, we talk about it, and a lot of times we see different examples, and it's like, oh, well, that was a different city, a different time, we just didn't know when. Same city, same time, completely different outcomes. Can we really sit here and act like there's not a difference? Are we really going to sit here and do that? It just, how do you act like this person just isn't behaving properly? This man just walked down the street and shot 3 people walking towards you with a gun. Please back up. So they might have thought something, but they didn't back up and was, blasting his ass, which easily could have had all those cops, all those guns, all those good guys with guns that didn't stop a bad guy with a gun. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Because these people are in our family, they live in our neighborhoods, they hang out with, or maybe we used to hang out with them, we don't still, but we keep in touch, we have good memories, we have, caring for them. What do we do? And the thing is, they're out there because these are your friends. These are people that you grew up with, spent time with, have gotten to know since you become an adult, gotten to know since you become a grandma, These are people, and do you shut down the circle because people can't be trusted, but you still got to live. I say in a day-to-day, a lot of people are okay. There are people that are grieved. There are people that are hurting. Just getting up and going is just hard. I'm not one of those people. I'm definitely affected. I'm bothered. I'm angry. I'm hurt. But I still get up and live my life, and, it's going all right. And a lot of people are in that boat. Our day-to-day is fine. But the psychological effect of what you see and what you have to deal with is so heavy. It's so heavy. And so that's what I just want to talk about today is that burden, even for people who, do talk to you. Even though we know you're a Trump supporter, we still deal with you. Partially because, there are people who are revolutionary who are like, no, fuck that. I'm not dealing with any white people. And none of them can be trusted. Can you do that? Can you fault them? Can you fault them for not trusting. And this place takes all kinds. This society takes all kinds. And people is like, no, I don't rock with them. Or, you got people who just, I don't see them. I live way out in the country somewhere and I don't really see black people. Or I live, in the hood somewhere and it's just, I'm surrounded by black people and other minorities. We don't see white people. We're all in this thing together dealing with this, and we're all looking, the people who are trying to be moderate and work with you and, try to make the things better for everybody, the people who's like, no, we just need to focus on us, the people who's like, fuck the other side, we don't even care about them. We're all in this together watching the disparity. And it's clear that it's disparity because one kid can walk down the street, no problem, and the other man gets gunned down in front of his 3 kids. And the biggest difference, there's differences, the biggest difference consistently is skin color. Skin color is becoming dangerous, not even becoming, but it's making a resurgence in terms of just the level of danger that it brings. Blackness, darkness, brownness, not even blackness, brownness. What do we do about that? So welcome to the channel. Again, this is the Black White Liberal. And so these are the things that we're talking about. And starting today, we wanted to discuss those differences, the things that we are experiencing right now in terms of wanting to get back to normal because we're in the middle of COVID, as well as wanting to tear down the system, I think, and rebuild for some people. We all have different points of view. I also want to mention that today is Saturday, August 30th, and yesterday we also found out that Chadwick Boseman passed away and that he'd been dealing with colon cancer for 4 years. And, a lot of people have said things online and on, social media. And, I definitely have my feelings about him passing. Sometimes when you're in different communities and things happen, you just get such a flood of information in terms of somebody passed away or things that are going on. And right now I haven't put anything down just because there's so much out there right now, and everybody's giving their tributes to someone, an actor who definitely deserves it, in my opinion. Portrayed a lot of great people over the years since we've gotten to know him. Thurgood Marshall, Jackie Robinson, of course, Black Panther. And I am really reminded of something that I saw, and I believe it was a commencement speech at Howard. I think he was a Howard graduate. And he was just talking about the kind of roles that they wanted to offer him and how he was talking about the roles that they were trying to offer him and how they just really didn't have a lot of depth, and the characters just didn't really lend a lot to the script. And he was saying that he had to end up turning them down and, walking away from that because while he was in school, he had just learned about just the respect for himself. And it was a really great commencement speech. I'm going to see if I can find the link and put it in the YouTube box. But definitely very sad to hear about that brother's passing. the impact that the movie had on, I think, Black culture, Black American culture. Just having that was very important. And, you see kids and they want to be Black Panther, or they want to watch the movie all the time because they're seeing themselves. And I think that, his passing, we can say that he definitely contributed. He definitely made a difference, and he touched all of our lives. I would say, yeah, he would touch the majority of Black people's lives, and hopefully even the majority or a lot of non-minority lives. Hopefully he touched it in a positive way. Very interesting, I think, that he has passed away, and we were talking about we were just talking about the characters in Black Panther, and of course the Michael B. Jordan character Killmonger, and some of the things that he felt, and where we're at right now. I think even in a sense of the country, and you have people who again want to kind of steady the leadership mantle and want to get back to some sense of normalcy. And then you have people who are ready to come in and just challenge the system and are looking at the momentum that we have right now and don't want to wait. And who is who is right? I feel like this was definitely a big debate when the movie was out. People were wondering who, if one person or other really had the right answer. And if we're being too complacent like Black Panther, or we needed to be revolutionary like Killmonger. And these are, again, I was saying that the people who are in the country, in the world, but I'm going to speak specifically about domestic issues right now. It takes all kinds. And I think right now we're having to look at ourselves as a community, as a Black community, and figure out what we want. What do we want? I've been hearing a lot of talk about, different Republicans considering voting for them, minority Republicans, Black Republicans in some cases. There's been hearing the appeal that the Republican Party has been making to Black people. And I need to really listen more to what they're saying to the DNC. But I just wonder, what are our demands? What, if the Republican Party is coming to us and saying, what do you want? What do we want? Maybe not for this time, because I don't know if I could vote for this president. I know I couldn't. But for next time, or for the midterms, or just for anybody who walks up and asks us, what is on our list? There was a shooting in Atlanta. A young man died. And his mother gave a very passionate speech about, there's not any white people here on this block who have shot my son. These are Black people that took his life, and we need to do better. We can't keep pointing at people who don't live in our neighborhoods, and they're not coming here on a regular basis, and killing us. And it's just trying to figure out what part of our platform deals with them and what part of it deals with us. Because to me, it has to be an approach for both. I don't see how we can really make the progress we need to make without making some internal changes. Certainly stuff needs to be changed externally. We need to address the policing issue. We need to address the fear that comes along with policing Black bodies, and how to deal with that effectively so that you're not disproportionately killing us, basically. These are all things that I want to talk about. on the show. These are things that I think we need to have deeper discussions about. I think these are discussions that may be going on within the community, um, or maybe not. We're in a place where there's a lot of change that can happen. There's a lot of ideas that are being floated around. And we're trying to figure out which of those ideas are feasible moving forward. We're talking about reparations. I feel like we're talking about reparations in a way I haven't heard talked about in a really long time. And I think when we look at cases like Kyle Rittenhouse and Jacob Blake, I think I called him James earlier, I apologize. When we look at these cases, I think it makes it clear that there is a need for some sort of restitution, I believe is the word. We deserve it. I think there's a deeper conversation, a more heated conversation coming in terms of how you disperse that money should you choose to do it. So it's going to be interesting moving forward. But again, that's something we can talk about on the show. But this was just an introduction, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Certainly next time we'll be talking about different topics. We're gearing up for the election. The election's coming up in November. I hope everybody is registered to vote, going to get registered to vote. Look at your Secretary of State's office website. That's called the Secretary of State. Those are the people that usually are over managing the elections. Make sure that you're registered. Make sure you can get yourself an absentee ballot if you need to. If you really want to guarantee it, you can go stand in line, but definitely there's options. And I also want to say there's options even to the absentee ballot. You can drop it off at the elections office. You don't have to use the mail. And let me just also say that's something that I felt like really got my attention in terms of, I understand that the post office was under attack, and I definitely believe that the president was trying to undermine the use of voting, not because of voter fraud, but because he just wants to discourage and inflame. But I really felt like we had a workaround for that in terms of what the actual issue is, which is voting. And that was, you can drop it off at elections office. I just felt like I didn't see enough of that discussion. And it was really more about the funding and needing to provide funding. And I just feel like at a time like this, it's really crucial that people just have the facts. And I didn't see either party doing that. And I found that very annoying, that I didn't see anybody telling people how to work around it. And I think that when right now we're in a place where both parties pander and both parties say they can fix it, this was just a small, simple example of, can they fix it? Because here they could have given us a solution that really would have allowed us to move forward. I think a lot of people find the USPS, United States Postal Service, very useful. And instead of acknowledging that and building on that, we focused on the fact that Trump was trying to hold up this money. And he can't, and we had alternatives. So I think when you look at that situation, the question is, are these people really going to give you the best solution because there was a best solution in front of them and they didn't mention it? Not that I saw. They kept going back and forth arguing. And so how many other times, how many bigger issues have they known that there was a solution there and something that can help the American people? And this is either party. How many times have either party known there was a solution there and didn't provide it, and instead kept us bickering? It's just something to think about, because this is something that could have gotten out of our news cycle. We could have focused on things that were more important. But instead, I don't know, I turned it off after probably 4 or 5 days. But we continue to go back and forth and argue about something that had a solution. And what's wrong with that solution? Now we have the president, the last I saw, saying, well, they're going to flood the elections office and people have to count. And, okay, that's the new argument. And you knew he was going to come up with something else. But for those lawmakers that are supposed to be providing solutions, I just felt like it took a little while. And that is just a small thing that just made me say, why did it take so long before we came up with, and why am I seeing it on social media, and why am I posting it on social media, but when I watch the news, these people who know the law aren't bringing this up? Just some food for thought. So that's what we do here. We give food for thought. And we're going to wrap it up here, and hopefully soon, we'll get some participation. We'll get a little more feedback. We can look and have deeper conversations, or just more robust conversations. So I look forward to it. I'm not afraid to talk. I'm not afraid to argue, and I'm here. So it's the Black White Liberal. I'll be checking in again soon. Y'all take care.